This Yosemite protest ended with one of the most haunting accidents that were ever caught on camera. Jan Davis was an iconic and a unique individual. If I may say so myself, she was a badass. She worked for NASA and even flew to space, making history alongside her husband Mark C. Lee as the first couple to ever fly to space. During her time in NASA, she actually became heavily involved in skydiving and base jumping. If you don't know what base jumping is one of the most extreme sports in the world. Unlike skydiving, jumpers leap from fixed objects such as bridges or cliffs with only seconds to open your parachute. Can you imagine that? Jan actually broke many records and became known as one of the best women in base jumping. Jan Davis and Mark C. Lee would eventually get a divorce, and later in her life, she would meet Tom Sanders. This was actually a cameraman and was also a stunt coordinator in one of the most extreme sports filmings. In 1989, a man named Frank Gambale died after a base jump in Yosemite. He actually landed safely, but the park rangers ended up chasing him. So during his escape attempt, he actually ended up jumping off of a waterfall cliff, and he was never seen again. Many in the base community actually believe that they were being treated like criminals and that the pursuit contributed in Frank's death. Because of this, Jan ended up joining a large protest that was being held in El Capitan Yosemite National Park. The goal was simple. It was to prove that experienced jumpers could descend safely. Thousands of spectators gathered, climbers, reporters, photographers, and even the park rangers were present with their handcuffs ready to arrest each jumper. At this point, Jan had already completed dozens of jumps. So to her, it was only another statement and a moment in history. One by one, jumpers would step off of El Capitan and land safely. Now it was Jan's turn. She moved to the edge of the cliff and the crowd watched. And actually, it was known that on this day she ended up using a different parachute. Little did she know that this would cost her her life. First, people cheered her on, but within seconds, it became clear that she was not deploying her parachute. Cheers turned into screams and people yelling at her to deploy her parachute. Her husband was in disbelief. Jan reached for her parachute handle, but in panic, she could not find it for the life of her. As she fell closer to the ground, she understood that her life was about to end. She covered her eyes and laid her hands above her face, and just like that, she hit the ground. This impact was unfortunately witnessed by thousands of people, and including her husband, and not to mention being filmed. After the incident, the protest ended and base jumping did indeed remain illegal in Yosemite National Park. Really important to note that she wasn't using her normal parachute, and because of this, she had no idea where that handle was, and in this parachute, the handle was actually in between her thighs from what I read. It's a really tragic story, but in my opinion, she was an extraordinary woman and such a daredevil.